Hello, my name is Hannah. Last where we left off, we found out Doug does not remember who Max was in Historia. He doesn't remember who he was up until the very end, but we did get to meet his younger sister Natalia, who in this reality that Max doesn't exist in, is his best friend. His sister is his best friend and the only person who's the voice of reason. However, if you watch the first episode, Max was the voice of reason in Doug's life. Now Doug seems to remember Max, but he doesn't really know what's going on. It's kind of hard to tell. I think he's in the monster, but not in the monster at the same time. It's really weird. But let's see what's going on. A memory returns. Behind me, reality snaps back into place and I see 24 scared faces staring at me. There's no time to explain to them. How would they understand anyway? There's a monster on the loose and there's a chance that Max is still out there, somewhere. I feel his presence calling to me. The school nurse rounds the corner with a concerned look on his face. My feet start to move automatically and carrying me away from the school nurse deeper into the school. Doug, it's okay. I'm here to help you. His footsteps speed... Oh, it's a dude. Oops. His footsteps speeds up as he tries to keep up my pace, but I know I'm younger and faster. I break into a sprint, running down the hallway. I might have misjudged my speed and crash into a classroom door as I round the corner. The class beyond stares at me through the window with worried faces jump out at me. Nat is horrified to see the commotion caused by her brother. She jumps up and runs to the door before I can gather myself and run off. Doug, are you okay? What's going on? Max, he's gone. Some monster has him. I need to save him. Doug, what are you talking about? I think you need to lie down. I slapped my sister's reassuring hand. If I don't get out of here soon, I'll be trapped here forever. Escape's my only option, even if that means pissing Nat off. Sorry, but this has to be done. This whole town is in danger. Behind me, the nurse has finally gone. Love you, sis. My legs pump through Natalia's classroom and I leap through the open window out into the playground yard. The nurse peers his head out the ground floor window. It's not far from the ground, but it's too high for him to jump. I turn my back on the school building and spread through the grassy field and onto the street beyond. Intersecting memories overlap in my mind, and I can clearly see Max's house in my head. My body must have been taking me there to check on him this morning. But if only I weren't stupid to realize what was going on. It feels like I've been drugged, my memory replaced, but it's more powerful than that. Like Max was some sort of creation in my mind that I forgot about. A childhood memory that was forgotten, only to come rushing back with total clarity to do some random stimulations. Like remembering a summer trip if you smell a certain smell. Or a joke you were told over ice cream. You can't be sure that it's real, but the only way you know way for me to know for sure is confronting Max or the monster and finding out. Max's house stands as it's always stands, a 2-story house in the nice area. A front garden perfectly maintained and lawns with immaculate white paint, fox marble entranceway. I learned the difference in our lifestyles, but part of me secretly hated him for that. I took a step towards the front door, but something stopped me. Even though I was here less than 12 hours ago, something seems different. The carway in the driveway is old, but a well-maintained Toyota. I swore his dad had a B&W, something I missed. And the curtains as well. Weren't they beige, not brown? I'm still shook up. There's something wrong with this reality. Maybe this is all some sort of trip. I bet Max is inside, laughing his arse off, dying and reveal he had slipped me last night. Drugs are easy enough to get at my school, and Max has money and the gall to pull a stunt like that. He's told me countless times before that I'm too much of a straight arrow and I need to lighten up. One of those days I'll break you out of that Boy Scout shell. It's my personal mission, is what he used to say. Maybe I needed to decide to get a heavier hand on this method. If that's what's happened, I'm going to wring his neck. But again, after the last 24 hours, I think I prefer a bad acid trip over warping right through realities or seeing a giant snake dream again. I walk across the soft grass, press the doorbell, delight. I hear a faint ringing inside. Noise is calming somehow. The drug theory is making more sense, but I'm not crazy after now. Coming! A voice I've never heard before. It's an old lady. Maybe as a visitor? An old Asian woman. Can I help you? Yeah, is Max in? It looks different than what I remember. Oh yeah, it looks different from what I remember too. But the furniture has all been changed. Max, I think you have the wrong house. No, this is the right house. Max Dunbar lived here for years. Well, now I know you're wrong. This house was built... This has been my house since it was built 13 years ago. Nausea hits me again and I fall backward. She shakes her head before closing the door. I stumble away from the house as I cross the footpath. I feel like I'm pushing through air. Like I'm walking through a wall of mud. My memory clears and I can see a ghostly snake devouring Max in my mind's clear eye. Taking a deep breath, I close my eyes shut, forcing the memory to the F4. Ooh. My mind is at odds with this. Part of me telling me Max was a dream. They never existed. The more I recall our childhood together, the harder it gets to remember him. It's like chasing a rainbow. No matter how fast you run towards it, it's always out of reach. Doug. Doubt creeps into my consciousness. No, that's Max! Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm the one who fed myself drugs in Max's illusion. No, that can't be right. He's real. I'm real. None of this world is real. I need to pull myself together. People think I'm going crazy. Running from school does have an effect on your reputation. I need to get my world under control, but it's spinning too fast. Maybe that's just my head. Nothing makes sense and I feel exhausted. As much as I want to avoid a run-in with Mom right now, I decide it's best option to sneak home. If I can rest for a little bit, maybe I can clear my head and sort this mess in my mind. I walk faster home and I can swear I feel the traces of ozone. A cool breeze blows down Max's street and I feel chills against my spine. The wind blows and I can smell it from my nose, verifying it before, but by the time I got home, I've convinced myself that this reality and Max was a dream. I opened the door and Dad should be at work right now, so it doesn't hurt to be careful. Mom is likely asleep after her night shift. She usually doesn't get up until after we finish school. I was wondering when you'd come back here. Natalia was waiting for me at the kitchen table, negating all need for stealth. How'd you know I'd be here? You were running and screaming in school like in some sort of drug fever. I knew you'd come back here eventually. Sheepishly, I stare at her like I went overboard this night. Sorry, I must have slept poorly or something. That didn't look like sleep to me. What are you using? I record a physical accusation. From her point, it's a reasonable conclusion. No, I swear. I'm just a little messed up right now. I think I had some sort of weird dreaming. That I saw some sort of attack, but I'm okay now. You better not try that again. I have to put up enough crap from Dad and those junkies at school. You're supposed to be my diamond in the rough here. I tussle my little sister's hair. You don't need to worry about me. I've got too much going for me to fuck it up now. I'm not totally convinced by that. But I know I can't afford to lose focus now. I can rest my high school life in weeks, and I know how behind I am on my studies. If I were to want to end up at a half-decent university to get out of this backwater, I need to hit the books. I fill my lungs, pushing the remnants of the dream in my head. I need to forget the fantasies of snakes and monsters. Something hard from the textbook should help me. Oh, you better not. I brought your bag. Give me like 10 seconds. I'm back. I fill my lungs and try to push the remnants of the stream from my head. I need to forget the fantasies of snakes and monsters, focusing on something hard with books. You better not. Oh, I brought your bag back. Told the roll call teacher you had a fever. Thanks. You're welcome. I'm going back to school now. You get your head together, okay? Sure. Oh, Nat? Don't tell Mom, okay? She'll flip out and send me for a bunch of tests or something. You got it. But pull stupid something like this again, I'll make you piss in a cup myself. Natalia picks up her school bag and heads out the door. Talking to another person helps clears my mind, and I suddenly feel tired. Running around like a madman in the morning does take its toll. But I need to study and clear my head. It's not often I'll get a chance to have the house to myself. I grab a glass of milk from the fridge, slamming it shut before opening my school books in the kitchen. It's much easier to study here than in my room with piles of old cardboard boxes. The small window in the room doesn't provide enough ventilation. Too long in there, I'll give myself a headache. I come engrossed in my history. Before I knew it, there was a white light streaming through the window, and it's taken an orange hue. I shift back to my pitiful room before anyone gets home. The sun sets as my wayward family begins to assemble in the house, and Talia was the first, secluding herself in the room almost as soon as she gets in. I suppose between last night and today she has enough of me and doesn't want to be dragged into another confrontation. Mom is next, and I hear her sleepy sighs as she settles into the dining room after a long day's asleep. I want to go out and say hello, but I'm afraid I'll slip up and she'll go into protection mode. Best to pretend that I'm studying and keep out of her way now. The worst outcome is that she starts thinking I'm on drugs, and I'll never hear the end of it. Locking myself away to study isn't rare, so I might be able to get away with it for today. It isn't long before the background noises of TV flood the living room and the hum of the microwave. Pasta again, I suppose. She works like a dog and still finds the energy to cook for us. I don't know how she does it. Not boiling pasta and microwave sauce is really gourmet cooking, but it saves me from doing it. Sometimes I try to cook for everyone, but it always ends up terribly. Mom subtly suggested I leave it to her. Dinner's ready. The emotional cry reverberates around the little house, and Natalia and I dutifully file into the dining room. Natalia gives me a look that tells me she won't say a word, but at the same time, to avoid starting another row with Dad. I sheepishly nod in her direction. Message received. Mom, on her face, tells me all I need to know. It's been a rough day. Don't ask me anything. That's what the bags under her eyes are telling us. How was school? Uneventful. I couldn't imagine my sister jumping in for me. I can't imagine saying in my mouth what it says for her. And you? Same, I guess. I'm just getting ready for finals. Good. With the family conversation eventually over, we begin to start eating. Spaghetti bolognese. It's a staple of our family diet. I don't mind it if it's quick and fills you up. And I'm healthy enough, so it can't be that bad for you. I've started to notice that a lot of people in town are becoming obese, but so far we are still fit. Doug, I want you to know your dad doesn't mean everything he said last night. Okay. I twirl my fork in the spaghetti and slosh in the red sauce around the plate. You just know that you're only getting one shot at this. You know that too, right? I guess. I don't feel like talking to her about it. I'm not entirely sure with what happened last night. My memories are overlapping in my mind, and it's making me hard to tell what's reality from fiction. But if I act too weird, Mom's sensors will start pinging, and I'll be interrogated with vigor. That's one complication I don't need in my life right now. Mom's made her stance on drugs quite clear. If the junkies were gone, so would her need to pull overtime. He's got a lot of stress at the moment. Stress, huh? That guy doesn't know stress. Mom has worked in an emergency ward for decades. The stories she tells chills your blood. What kind of stress does an office worker have compared to that? I know. I struggle to keep my emotions in check. If I get myself riled up now, then I'll pop when he gets home. Well, so long as you know he wants what's best for you, even if you don't see it yet. One day you'll thank him. I drop my fork on the plate with clatter. I get it, I'm done. I carry my half-empty plate to the sink. Oh, look, it's in the sink. I wish we could see what Doug looked like. And who's the girl in the beginning screen? Those are my two wonders right now. Like, wonders right now. I don't want to be petulant to my mother, but I also need time to think. Reality isn't playing nice today, and I want to know, and I already know what she's going to say. She's not wrong. I guess that's the hardest part of it all. I've got to go study. My finals are bringing a lot of stress into the family, even though I'm the only one affected. Mom and Dad have been fighting over coming exams. And that reflects back on me, so I start to get worried. At the beginning of the year, I thought I had everything under control, but the days loom closer and they've started panicking. What if I don't get good enough grades? It's not like I have any other talents. I like shooting hoops now and again. I'm easily the weakest player on the school's team, so sports aren't an option. I've already had a couple friends drop out of high school and start apprenticeships, but Dad won't let me do that. You need a degree to survive in this world. Almost every trade will be automated in the next 20 years. Actually, that one's a lie. Believe it or not, trades are great. Electricians are needed. But you do need a high school degree to get in the trades, at least in America, so can't say about other countries. He might be right. So the university has always been my mind up for me. I want to make an impact to the world, and that's not something you can easily do as an electrician. But that's about where my ambition stops. I only have a couple subjects I'm okay with, but I'm nothing stellar. That's maybe the appeal of university. Get out of this tiny town and find something you're good at. Maybe that's why I clash with Dad so much. He spends too much time reading The Future of Business, so he wants me to study computer science. His vision of the future seems so clear, where I say it's not so simple. I can hear his car pull up the driveway now. It must be 8 o'clock. Somehow I can tell by his footsteps he hasn't been drinking. That's a relief. He opens the door and calls out to her. I'm home. Doug, have you got a sec? Damn it, here it comes. I'm in my room. Close my eyes and breathe deeply, trying to force confusion from my mom. If Mom's overbearing instincts are bad, having Dad think I'm high will be much worse. I don't even want to imagine his reaction. He knocks on my door and leads in. Look, Doug, I don't want to apologize for last night. It's all okay. Sorry for that weird pause, but, no one understands. Like I said in one of the other one, I believe the first episode, family doesn't know boundaries. Even when I tell them ahead of time I'm doing stuff. So I'm just going to record this part in the next episode as it's timed. Time to get off. So, see you in a bit.